I'm here in the beautiful Pie Canyon, and this is not far from the place that I got engaged to my gorgeous wife Emma. It's a stunning landscape with lots of ridges and ravines and peaks, and I'm walking with the Word today thinking about the story of Joseph from the Old Testament. Joseph is a guy that you'll know who his dad loved him and brought him a multicoloured coat, and his brothers got jealous and they threw him into a pit. Why? Well, one of the things that had upset them is that Joseph had had a dream of his brothers and his family bowing down to him, and he shared that dream with his family, and his brothers were jealous, they were angry, they were going to kill him, but instead they threw him into a pit. And I think what happened in Joseph's life can be compared to the landscape that I'm walking through at the moment. God had a plan, and God stood Joseph on the ridge, and then he pointed to a high peak in the distance, and he said to Joseph, I'm going to stand you on that peak. And Joseph said, great, let's go. And then God said, but you've got to go down first. This is going to be a journey that I'm taking you on, and it's not all smooth sailing to the top of this peak. I have plans for you, and you're going to go down before you go up. How do you think Joseph felt when his brothers violently threw him into that pit? How do you think that made Joseph feel? How do you think he felt when the wife of the house that he was serving, Potiphar's wife, made a move on him, and because he refused, she accused him of rape and he was cast into prison? What do you think Joseph was thinking about those dreams that God gave him? Do you think he really believed that God was going to put him up on that high place? I bet his faith waved, I bet he struggled, I bet he had difficult times, but the amazing thing is, that was all part of God's journey for him. At no point did Joseph fall outside of God's sovereign plans and purposes for his life. God's landscape, God's will, God's plan for our lives may not be a smooth journey. It may be that there'll be ups and downs, but those ups and downs are very specifically and deliberately part of God's will for our lives. Why does he let us go through these things? To grow us and to build us. And why does he put us on the peak? Joseph, at the end of his journey, realizes why it is. He says to his brothers, God sent me before you so that I can actually provide for you in a difficult time, in a time of famine. I can give food to you and the family. Joseph realized that God had a greater purpose for lifting him up, and it wasn't for his own glory, but it was to preserve life.